The Amazing Digital Circus Retrospective by me and CC3 is finally here and stuff. And yeah, so this was an amazing series from start to finish, honestly, and I'm really sad that it's honestly over. And if you ask me, this will go down as one of my favorite, overall indie shows in my opinion, or just one of the best shows I've watched in a long time of me just, watching, amazing shows in my life, from Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney XD, and stuff, and YouTube and stuff. But this to me really was amazing, honestly. It was just a good, consistently well done run and stuff. And yeah. So, anyways, this is Eunice 3. I hope you guys enjoyed my review on it, and let's begin with all the episodes. Here we go. Now, a quick important info and stuff. This is not going to be like me reviewing the episodes and stuff. This is rather just going to be, my experiments with this series, and stuff, and, my memories and stuff when I watched this series from start to finish and stuff, from 2023 to all the way to 2026 and stuff. The reason why I'm doing this is because, number one, I don't want to make this incredibly very long. I want to just make this quick and stuff. And also because, the reason I'm doing a more like, story like aspect of this and stuff, because it makes it feel a little bit more personal and stuff, and how much the show, meant to me and stuff, and how I'm happy that it's finally, over. It got a satisfying best farewell conclusion and stuff. And yeah, pretty much. Okay, let me, I freaking hate these damn ads so much. Please let me, okay, here we go. So I'm going to turn on the thing now. So starting from, from all the way back in the pilot, I remember when this first aired out and stuff, and I was still technically in, in high school at this time and stuff, because obviously I was, 18, but I was, finishing up, 11th grade at that time, and I would finish 12th grade next year, 2024 and stuff. So I remember watching this and stuff, and it was really, just odd, amazing and stuff, and it was nothing like I ever seen before in my life. So yeah. Damn it, shut the hell up. Okay. It was like, okay, sorry, I thought this was an ad, but yeah, it was anything like I ever seen it before, and I loved the pilot. And once the first episode came out and stuff, it was even more amazing. Like, I have no clue, like, what was happening, honestly, and I was just, just really overall impressed with the, direction of the show and stuff, and yeah. So after that and stuff, that was around in 2024. I was still in 12th grade in that time, because that was in 2024. And I think, so yeah, episode 3 and stuff, this is where, yeah, okay, so this is where, this is where I finished high school and stuff in May 2024, finished 12th grade, and I was now starting my first year in university and stuff. And this was in my first year of university, and this was really another great episode and stuff, since I really enjoyed it and stuff. And yeah, next episode, that being, of course, this one. This was also in the time when I was, still in my first year of university and stuff. And yeah, and stuff. And ironically, this was pretty much a perfect episode, since I was at this time also eating, don't worry, I don't eat that stuff anymore, because I finally learned, how to cook by myself perfectly. I was eating a bunch of fast food during this time, because obviously, like, I was, constantly doing a lot of university work, and I didn't have enough time to cook by myself. But don't worry, I know how to cook by myself now, and yeah, but this was a perfect episode. The next episode, finally, this is where finally I really can say I fell in love with the series and stuff. And yeah, so this came out during, the summer of, 2005. And that was at the time, when I was, that was at the time, when I was in, finally off from my, first year of university and stuff, and I had so much free time with me, and yeah, I still miss that. I still think my first year of university summer was better, because I think it just had that more special feeling. Like, my second year of university summer I'm on right now, I still love it. I'm still happy I'm having it, but I think the first year just felt a little bit more, because it really just felt like, thank goodness. And that's when I first learned how to cook and stuff by myself. So yeah, sorry for the off topic and stuff. This is just my overall story of the show and stuff. Because, I grew up, I did remember watching Gooseworks' 2016 Undertale stuff, and I really liked it. So, and I still remember seeing the teasers for this and stuff, and thought, oh my god, this is going to be the next best step for Goose. And surprise, surprise, it was. And this Untitled really finally made me love in this series, honestly. It made me understood. Now, I did already predicted this in the pilot and stuff, but this was not a real area. This was just a fake digital AI, stuff that, was trapped. Okay, no, not trapped, but like, the thing about the harsh truth about the show and stuff is that, as I already predicted in the pilot when I was 18 and stuff, first watched this, all of this was not really real. All of this I thought it was just fake, and fake. I don't think any of this was real and stuff. I thought this was just some fake AI crap, nonsense and stuff that what didn't act like. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought, when these so-called, humans, Abigail Brooks and stuff, yeah, because, the move, I think it's already out, so I can now just spoil it. Abigail Brooks and stuff, when she put on, the headset and stuff, she didn't really actually get teleported. Her soul, body, mind, no. They still are still in the human real world and stuff. She probably just took it off and say, what a weird waste of time this device is, throw it away, and probably, went back to doing her bank accountant job, I believe, and living in, paying rent and stuff, and doing her job, and, hanging out with friends and family and stuff. While, the scanner might have, got some of her DNA to create almost a perfect copy. If you remember that Sanabi game I Let's Played, a year back and stuff, last year, it's kind of like that in a way, where they had to, the daughter of the father had to really create a perfect AI copy because the real human of his dad, the original human version, died and stuff. And yeah, so that's pretty much why. So yeah, alright, moving on to episode 6 now and stuff. So yeah, this was also an episode I enjoyed watching since, again, I was still on summer break, but it was the first time where, I went to, a shooting range in my local, area and stuff. Don't worry, I shot with safety and stuff. So I feel like with Goose is making these episodes like perfect for me and stuff, like based on my real life experiment. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm being a little bit weird, but I feel like it's like getting ironic here. But yeah, the next episode, the beach episode, it kills this trend and stuff, because obviously I was in no peach in the summer. I was still in college and stuff. But yeah, I was in my second year of university, and I say this was definitely a great episode, but it definitely really did felt, odd to be fake and stuff. And finally, the next one and stuff, that being this one and stuff, and yeah, now being in this, not too long ago, and yeah, pretty much. And after that, after when, they killed, him once and for all and stuff, that was episode 8, where they pretty much finally killed Kane once and for all and stuff. And now we're about to see, the harsh. I think you guys already know, like, the entire truth and stuff, but this is not a real simulation and stuff. This is fake and stuff, so yeah. But this is where they finally killed Kane for once and for all finale. And now for episode 9, Remember and stuff. I already made my review on this episode and stuff, but yeah, and stuff. Also, shout out to this one comment, like, to this Wolf Leader 5500 and stuff. If you dodge all the leaks, claim reward. Thank you. Honestly, yeah. I watched the movie and stuff, so I didn't really have to worry about leaks anymore and stuff, so yeah. So anyways, now that, pretty much I am, Okay, sorry. So, anyways, now that with the series finally now over and stuff on June 19, 2026 and stuff, and currently, unironically, I'm in my, second year of summer and stuff. I'm finally finished with Act 2 of my university, and Act 3 is going to start in, late August and stuff, but I can really say that, honestly, this show really meant a lot, and honestly, because even I don't have, like, hyper attachment to it. No, absolutely not, okay? I watch the show, like, as a regular viewer. I do have I have both a mix of positive and negative and stuff. I, really enjoyed it. I have some few critiques, but I overall enjoyed, each episode from start to finish and stuff. I'm in no way of a, like, diehard, extreme, like, creepy, abnormal fan and stuff. I'm just a normal, regular, just fan and stuff who enjoys the show, critiques it, occasionally makes my own conclusions, say, yeah, that was a great show, I really enjoyed it, maybe some things could have been improved. But I think if this is Goose's show, if she enjoyed doing it, what she enjoyed in the end of the day, I really respect that. And honestly, I really respect what Goose did, honestly, here. Because this is really a show I enjoyed and stuff. And this final episode, honestly, I'm going to say it's the best episode. Yeah, I know it's kind of predictable, but come on, it literally has a reason to be the best episode in the series. Everything, it really felt like finally these characters were finally at their peak. They finally mastered and stuff. And yes, like, spoiler alert coming up and stuff. Abigail Brooks, Leroy, the real names of these characters and stuff. The human versions that are thankfully living good, normal, happy lives and stuff. But, here is basically the montage and stuff. And, I hate these damn ads so much. Okay. So now and stuff with this and stuff. Let me I'm so sorry about this, guys. I trying to like find that scene. Okay, here it is. So after finally all this, the fake version of Leroy gets abstracted, and all the fake versions of Abigail and the rest of the crew are still here and stuff. And of course, Kane, I guess finally the so-called fake Kane dies and the real Kane that he wanted to bring out was finally here and stuff. Willing to help out everyone, willing to make the place good and stuff. And yeah. So, starting from this montage right here and stuff, I'm going to play it now. But here it is and stuff. But yeah, pretty much. And yeah, so here it is. Abigail Brooks and stuff, and there's the rest of the characters and stuff. And Susie J, I think that's her real name and stuff. And then the next one, Zoe and stuff, and the next one and stuff. Of course, what's her name? I don't remember. Alex? I have no clue. No, I don't think it's just an Alex or something. Okay, no, this is Anna Best and stuff. Oh yeah, that's I think that's the wife of Kringer and stuff, and yeah. And finally, Leroy. Yeah, this is Leroy. I still don't ironically remember. I'm surprised he's in a male job, honestly. I was not... I think that male job really fits. And here's the happy ending, thankfully. Yeah, these are the real, actual humans. I assume when they put all their, like, masks on, don't worry, they never got teleported in this fake AI, crap, soulless, evil, monster world and stuff. No. They stayed in their regular, human, innocent, world and stuff. The Earth, human world, the one I'm living right now and stuff. Doing the jobs, paying the rents and stuff, doing, college and stuff like me, hanging out with friends and family and stuff, all the regular basic, stuff. So let this be a lesson that being a regular is better than being a damn celebrity, honestly. I can't really express that enough, okay? I'm happy with my regular life, and I would not want to trade with celebrity life. But, yeah, that was basically the Amazing Digital Circus and stuff, and we have a final montage and stuff of, them fixing the place into nothing good. Although, even if they're stuck here forever, I guess it doesn't mean they have to be miserable forever. They can try to make this place into something good. But honestly, yeah. And now we're going to play this one final scene and stuff. And here is what it looks like. Just a tiny floating orb. Yeah. A tiny floating orb and stuff. And that's the Amazing Digital Circus. And finally, the Amazing Digital Circus adventure is over. Just a tiny floating orb. Thank goodness that was just fake. It's just some inside computer digital area. And here's the final scene of Pulminoy saying goodbye to the audience and stuff. And yeah. Farewell. Now, of course, as you may know, I was on, the guest mode of Google Chrome and stuff. So I'm going to go on, gonna get off of here. And here's, the actual page and stuff. Remember and stuff. So, first of all, I want to... and stuff. Alright, so here it is and stuff. So, before we end this off and stuff, of course, now I'm on Chrome and stuff now with my YouTube account. And with that, that's the Amazing Digital Circus. The Amazing Digital Circus adventure is finally over. But yeah, overall, my final overall send-off, farewell thoughts, goodbye, thank you, and just farewell thoughts of this, amazing series and stuff that I enjoyed from start to finish overall was really fun. I really enjoyed it, honestly. I really think that overall, that from start to finish, honestly, all the way back from 2023 October and now 2026 June 19th. Even though these characters are just fake, they're just a bunch of hologram, fake digital AI copies, not the real actual humans. Which honestly is kind of the ultimate, like harsh reality. But at the same time, I'm kind of thankful because after this hellhole, this nightmare, I'm happy these characters in real life, except for this Monster King guy. Okay, no, he's actually a good guy. He's an angel guy now. He's a heaven guy now. He understands stuff. After this and stuff, I'm happy, that they don't know each other. They don't know who they are. They're just, strangers in real life. And honestly, that makes me happy. It makes them more, it's just, honest and, yeah. Besides, this is AI and stuff, and pretty much. Special thanks, and that's the Amazing Digital Circus. Farewell. Thank you, Gooseworks, for making an amazing show. And also, before we end it there, there's one more thing, obviously, I want to showcase and stuff. And, of course, if you know what I'm talking about and stuff. Hold on, can you load that up for me? Apology if this is... okay, here it is. Here's the scene and stuff. So, here it is and stuff. My predictions were right this entire time and stuff. So, here it is and stuff. We're going to zoom this in full screen. Here's what the crew looks like. All of these were just real-life, actual human beings. Just, going to work, doing college, hanging out with friends and family, paying rent. And finally, I'm just happy that this was all this fake. These are the real actual humans. They don't know each other and stuff. They're just living their honest, regular, ordinary lives like me and stuff. And all I can say, thank effing goodness. Let this be a lesson. I hate AI, and this is the consequence of why I am against anti-AI. I hate AI. It will never replace grounded, real, human love, passion, and soul and heart. And I would rather have this. It's honest, it's quiet, it's peaceful, it's freedom. It's just peaceful. And yeah. But yeah, that's the Amazing Digital Circus finale. I'm gonna zoom out now, and yeah. So overall, as I said and stuff, and also there's some, I believe there's some final merch you can buy and stuff, but it might be a bit too late. And honestly, no thanks. I'm not really into buying merch. I already bought an SMG4 cap, and that was kind of a little bit expensive, $65 if I can remember and stuff. I guess that fits because 64, 65, but it was kind of a little bit expensive and stuff, but yeah. But anyways, with that being said, that was overall the Amazing Digital Circus. I really gotta say, I will forever love this show, honestly. It was just a great show from start to finish, and you can really say that, honestly, in the end, Glitch and the crew, they really had a lot of fun, honestly, just making the show, honestly. And I could say, overall, I'm really happy the show ended off just on a very high note and stuff. And yeah, it was just a great show. I really loved it. From 2023 all the way to 2026, and I'm glad my predictions overall were true, honestly. And I can't really say, how thankful I am that my prediction that this show was just, one big, fake, AI crap, not the real world. And my theory in 2023 where the humans of these characters like Abigail Brooks and stuff put on the VR and thought it didn't work anything. Maybe they felt some bit of beak, but they just took it off of their headset. And they threw it away in the garbage can, and those original versions, they're still dumb. They're living in their life. They never met each other in real life and stuff. But, of course, that scanner, while they threw it away, it might have picked up some of their... I don't know how that works. Some DNA and something? I have no clue. Of their brain. Then they created some perfect hologram copies. Remember that Snappy game and stuff? It was kind of like that, in a way, in my opinion, where they had to create it. But it's not really like a Wallen recreation, because even if the human versions met these characters, they would scream in horror and fear, maybe call 911 to arrest these, or, stab them, punch them, or shoot them. These are some digital monsters and stuff. And, yeah, it's kind of the ultimate irony, in my opinion, and stuff. So, yeah. But overall, with that said and stuff, yeah, I'm just happy all of this was not real. All of this was just fake this entire time. This whole Digital Circus season was just fake, honestly. So yeah. But overall, thank you, Gooseworks, thank you, Glitch, for just making an amazing show from start to finish and stuff. And I'll forever be thankful of the show, you know, this show, how this show was, honestly. And of course, and yeah. So thank you, Gooseworks, honestly. I'm happy that finally you get to rest once and for all in peace now. And yeah, from 2023 all the way to 2026, I remember seeing the T-shirt, and now that it's finally over and stuff, all I can say, I am finally so damn relief and happy, honestly. Happy you ended the show off. I hope you damn take a long, well damn deserved break. I don't care if the next show comes out 10 years after this. I don't care. Just take a break, take as much sleep as you can, and just live a regular, ordinary civilian life, honestly. Let this be an ultimate final lesson before I end this. This is why my retrospective and review is a bit different. But this is why stop aiming for being a special or celebrity in your life. Just don't. Don't do it. Be proud of being a regular and civilian. Just be that, okay? That's the true luxury and stuff. And yeah. And please be more anti-AI, especially after this, honestly. Let this be a lesson of why you should not use AI. Just don't. Remove AI from your life, honestly. And stuff, and yeah. And it's okay if you're going to struggle with making anything. That's fine. That's a part of being human. I struggled when I first got back into hand drawing, and I was proud, honestly. It wasn't perfect, and I don't think it's not perfect. But, I open up to the critique and feedback of actual human beings. When I posted that, Mega Man Spearman fan art on Twitter and stuff, and on, Power Guy's Discord server and stuff. I did have to briefly create a Discord account for that, but I ended up deleting both a Discord and Twitter account after that and stuff because, I don't use those apps anymore. But I got some really well done critique feedback and stuff, and good. I'm glad they were honest. They did not sugarcoat, and yeah. And I'm still steadily struggling, but I'm getting a lot more better with the shapes and depth and stuff. Now that I've been applying some 3D method and stuff, like lines and stuff. And honestly, I'm proud of that. So yeah. So please, guys, please be more anti-AI after this and stuff. I'm sorry if I'm spreading like a message here, but if you look about everyone on the internet, nobody loves AI, okay? So let this be a lesson that human art will never be replaced because of the soul, passion, heart, love, and just overall heart that these works bring. Whether it's video games, movies, or just any kind of art form made by a human being like me, it screams, heart. And that's why. So yeah, thank you, Gooseworks. I hope you take a nice, good, well-deserved rest after this. You 100% deserve it. Thank you, Gooseworks, honestly. And this is ENC3 saying thank you guys so much for watching my overall experiments, my story, retrospective, and thank you, goodbye, Sendoff, farewell to the Amazing Digital Circuit series and stuff from 2023 to 2026. And yeah, no, shut the hell up, AI. I'm not talking to you, talking to me. So yeah. But anyways, thank you, Gooseworks, and this is ENC3 saying one final goodbye and farewell, the Amazing Digital Circus. Thank you, Gooseworks, and yeah, and farewell, the Amazing Digital Circus. So yeah, farewell, the Amazing Digital Circus. This is ENC3 saying one final goodbye. Thank you guys for watching my video, and farewell, the Amazing Digital Circus, and thank you, Gooseworks. Farewell.